What if I told you that the financial system is not broken? It's rigged? Every day, millions of smart, hardworking people wake up, go to work, follow all the rules, and still end up broke, stressed, and dependent. Why? Because the system was never designed to make you wealthy. It was designed to keep you working. Let me ask you a question that should terrify you. Why do so many hardworking people spend 40 years of their lives working jobs they despise, only to reach retirement age and realize they can't afford to stop working? Is it because they were lazy, unintelligent, unlucky? Of course not. The painful reality is that the entire financial system is carefully designed to keep you running on a hamster wheel, while the wealthy operate under an entirely different set of rules. From our earliest days, we're fed the same tired financial advice that's been proven ineffective. Get good grades, find a stable job, save 10% of your paycheck, and avoid debt. What they don't tell you is that this advice was specifically created to produce obedient workers, not financially independent thinkers. The wealthy chuckle at these conventional rules while quietly building fortunes through strategies most people never learn. Today, we're ripping off the curtain. By the time you finish reading this, you'll understand the 5 brutal financial truths that separate the rich from everyone else. Let's begin with perhaps the most dangerous financial myth being sold today. Number 1. The dangerous lie of job security. We've all been sold the comforting fantasy that a stable job equals financial security. But in today's rapidly changing economy, clinging to this belief might be the riskiest financial decision you can make. Consider the cold, hard facts. Over 50% of Fortune 500 companies from 2000 no longer exist today. Entire industries like retail, journalism, and manufacturing have been gutted by technological disruption. And with AI advancing at breakneck speed, even white-collar professions like law and accounting are facing existential threats. The wealthy understand a fundamental truth that most people ignore. Your employer's loyalty extends exactly as far as your profitability to them. That's why financially savvy individuals don't rely on jobs. They build assets that work for them around the clock. True financial security comes from multiple income streams, appreciating assets, and skills that remain valuable regardless of economic conditions. If your entire financial plan depends on a single paycheck from a single employer, you're essentially one corporate restructuring away from financial disaster. Number 2. The hidden trap of traditional saving. Save more money is perhaps the most repeated and most misleading piece of financial advice. What no one tells you is that in our current economic system, simply saving money is like trying to fill a bathtub with the drain wide open. Here's why traditional saving is a losing game. With inflation averaging 3% annually, the purchasing power of your money gets cut in half every 24 years. Meanwhile, banks pay insultingly low interest rates, often 0.01% or less, while charging outrageous rates, up to 25%, on credit cards. Modern monetary policies ensure that every unit of currency you save today will be worth significantly less tomorrow. The wealthy approach this problem differently. Instead of letting their money rot in savings accounts, they strategically deploy capital into assets that outpace inflation, income-producing real estate, profitable businesses, and carefully selected investments. They take advantage of tax-advantaged accounts and legal loopholes that most people don't even know exist. The critical insight here is simple. Cash sitting in a bank account isn't safe. It's slowly being destroyed by forces beyond your control. Number 3. The asset versus liability illusion. Take a walk through any middle-class neighborhood, and you'll witness the same tragic financial mistake being made over and over. People accumulating liabilities while convincing themselves they're building wealth. The difference in mindset between the wealthy and everyone else is striking. The average person thinks, "Can I afford the monthly payments on this new car, boat, vacation, home?" The wealthy think, "How can I acquire something that will pay me to own it?" Let's examine 2 real-world scenarios with different outcomes. In the first scenario, a typical person spends $60,000 on a luxury car. The moment they drive it off the lot, it loses around $12,000 in value instantly. Over the next 5 years, They continue paying for insurance, maintenance, and loan payments, roughly $9,000 every year. By the end of 5 years, they've spent about $45,000 just to keep the car. And in return, they're left with a heavily depreciated asset that's worth far less than what they paid. Now let's look at a smarter option. Using that same $60,000 as down payments for 3 rental properties worth a total of $200,000. These properties appreciate at about 4% annually, that's $8,000 per year, generate $2,400 per month in rent, about $28,800 per year, and also offer tax benefits. So after 5 years, instead of losing money, the investor earns rental income, builds equity, and owns assets that are growing in value. In short, they get paid to own something that actually increases their wealth. This is the brutal reality. Most people are trapped in a cycle of working to buy things that make them poorer, while the wealthy focus on acquiring assets that make them richer. Number 4, how the education system sets you up for financial failure. It's time to confront an uncomfortable truth. Our education system isn't broken, it's working exactly as intended. Its primary purpose isn't to create financially literate, independent thinkers, but to produce compliant workers who will follow instructions without question. Think about what you weren't taught in school. The power of compound interest, arguably the most important financial concept. Legal tax optimization strategies, negotiation and sales skills, essential for wealth building. How businesses actually operate and generate profits. Instead, you spent years memorizing historical dates you'll never use, solving math problems with no real-world application, and learning how to follow rules without questioning their purpose. The awakening moment for many wealthy individuals comes when they realize that every significant financial breakthrough in their life resulted from unlearning this conditioning and educating themselves about how money really works. Number 5. The truth about debt that banks don't want you to know. Conventional financial advice treats all debt as inherently bad, but the wealthy understand that debt is simply a tool, and like any tool, its value depends entirely on how you use it. There's certainly destructive debt, credit cards financing lifestyle inflation, auto loans for rapidly depreciating vehicles, payday loans with predatory interest rates. This kind of debt is indeed financial poison. But then there's strategic debt, what the wealthy call leverage, mortgages on cash-flowing rental properties, business loans used to scale profitable ventures, margin used for carefully calculated investments. This type of debt can be incredibly powerful when used correctly. Let's take a simple example. Suppose 2 people each have $120,000 to invest. Person N uses the full amount to buy one property outright for $120,000. On the other hand, person B uses the same $120,000 as a 20% down payment to purchase 5 properties worth $120,000 each, totaling $600,000 in assets by taking loans for the remaining amounts. Now, assuming a modest 3% annual appreciation in property value, after 10 years, person A's single property would grow to approximately $161,000. However, person B's portfolio of 5 properties would grow to around $806,000. This example clearly shows how leveraging money through real estate can significantly multiply your returns over time. Same initial investment, completely different outcomes, all because one understood how to use leverage strategically while the other followed conventional debt is bad. These truths aren't taught in schools because a financially empowered population can't be easily controlled. But now that you know them, you face a critical choice. Will you continue following the outdated rules designed to keep you dependent on a paycheck? Or will you start playing by the actual rules of wealth that the financially free have been using for generations? Remember, financial freedom isn't about getting rich quick. It's about understanding how money really works and having the discipline to apply that knowledge consistently over time. The chains of financial mediocrity are made of paper. You have the power to break them starting today. Which of these truths resonated most with you? Your next step is simple. Identify one principle you can start applying immediately and take action before the day ends. Because in the journey to financial freedom, knowledge is only power when it's applied. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel for more interesting content like this.